X conferences or the exopolitics conferences in the Washington, D.C. metro area. So with that, it's my great delight to welcome Steve Bassett.
I got to turn this. No, turn this. No, I'm going to use it. Okay. I'll get it right. Basically, I have 1 hour to explain to you the implications of the presence of extraterrestrials to the human race and all the nations therein. Which is to say that I have a snowball's chance in Mauna Kea's caldera to pull that off. So at some point, the slides here will be going by in millisecond intervals, and I will be counting on you to absorb the material subliminally, and I know that you will do the right thing. So I have another problem, though, and that is essentially I have to do this without the benefit of any psychic powers whatsoever. And we're talking clairvoyance, precognition, telepathy, bupkis, deja vu, no. Remote viewing, I couldn't remote view my own socks in my own closet, all right. As far as downloading material or having material brought to me from various sources and places without any licensing fees, that's not happening either. Records, astral plane, ethereal, galactic federation, nothing, all right? Angelic beings, time-traveling avatars, spiritual entities, multidimensional beings, doodly squat. So, because the thing is, I am left-brain person, very left-brain person. I started out in college in astrophysics, astronomical engineering rather, and then I switched to physics. And then finally I found my calling and I switched to tennis. Why are you laughing? This is very serious in my life. Now, tennis is the quintessential left-brain enterprise. It's all about angles and spin and momentum and of course, ultimate cause and effect. So, the fact is, and I'm really revealing this to you for the first time, no one else really knows this, is I don't have a right brain. Seriously, I don't have a right brain. I had a CAT scan done, and it was basically the doctor was like looking, and he said, things look relatively normal, except you don't have a right brain. How's that working for you? So I will do the best that I can. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to do a bit of an exercise. We'll be starting off. We're going to take a little tour and a bit of meditation, and I'm going to need you to start sitting up in your chairs, try to get comfortable, get your head over your shoulders, relax your arms, start a little rhythmical breathing. And in due course, you'll settle into some alpha states there. And then I also need you to start focusing your mind to direct those alpha waves up here toward me, all right? And concentrate on having them enter my cranial cavity where my right brain used or should be, and so that they'll just sort of collect, start bouncing around, and give me at least a day's worth of holism, all right, that I could put to use, not only here, but tomorrow. Because if I do get in the water, I don't want some offended dolphins to viciously attack me and toss me back into the boat unceremoniously, which is certainly very, very possible. Could happen. I'm going to do that. So we're going to begin here. I need you to, we're going to start this by closing your eyes, all right? So if you would just close your eyes, and for just a while, you're going to operate from the sound of my voice. Just a second. All right, with your eyes closed. You live on the planet Earth 90 million miles from the deity that the great Pharaoh Akhenaten worshipped, Sol. If you multiply that 90 million miles, 92 million miles, by 65,000, you get 5.9 trillion miles. And that is the distance that light travels in a single year. So, with your eyes still closed, I want you to climb into a hot little spaceship, right, with lots of glass. It's a hybrid, of course. I want you to head on out from the planet along the solar plane for not just 1 light year, not just 10, but 12.4 light years. It's approximately 75 trillion miles. And when you get there, you will be at the edge of a circle of diameter 25 light years, or about 150 trillion miles. And in that circle, the local neighborhood, the stars that are in our very near surround. And so if you would, open up your eyes. This is where you are. And you're in the, get this going here. Okay. The very center, and this is, initially our journey is going to be two-dimensional because of the way galaxies are created. Disks of massive gases, essentially in 2 dimensions. And so we've got a circle here, and it's 12.5 light years across. And there's a couple of stars, and there's 33 stars that's in this neighborhood. This is our friends and neighbors. If we go out in the morning, we could see some milk being delivered to Alpha Centauri's doorstep. And there's a couple of the stars here of note, some of which you know, most of which you do not. So these are the nearest stars. But let's take our spaceship out a little further. We're going to go out 250 light years in diameter. So the circle now is 500 light years across, which is essentially 30 quadrillion miles. All right. And so and from here on in, we'll stop using the big aliens and we'll stick with the light year thing, okay? And in this area, it's called the solar neighborhood by astronomers. It has a formal name. And this neighborhood consists of 250,000 stars. And there are a number here I think you may recognize, if I'm not mistaken, and I can't actually focus on this, but I think Ursa Major is in there, Ursa Minor. So these are stars you might know. And from here, we're going to go out a little further. We're going to go out 5,000 light years. And when you go out 5,000 light years, now you're able to take in a significant segment as well. And that is the belt of the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy that we're in. And there's 7 belts, and we're in the Orion belt. Again, right here in the middle. And you can see some of the other names of the other belts, and there's a couple other stars that may come to your attention here, fairly notable. And in this area, this zone of the Orion belt that we're looking at, again, 5,000 light years in radius, there are 600 million stars. Let's keep going. We're going to go out 50,000 light years, and obviously the reason that that was chosen is because that circle encompasses the galaxy, which is to say the galaxy is 100,000 light years across. And in that galaxy, we have 200 billion stars. And you actually kind of see a little something down here. This is called the dwarf galaxy, and we pick it up in this part. These are actually pretty cool places. The galaxies, almost all of them, have extremely complex, violent centers. And the closer you get, the more violent it gets. It's much more difficult to sustain life in this zone, which is why we're out here in Orion's arm, a little safer. But there are many of these dwarf galaxies that actually sit outside all by themselves without the hot centers. It's very likely that some of the most profound life comes from these galaxies because they have less violence going on there. It's a safe place. These are the Kailua Konas.